Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a little tiny card game called Ohanami. Ohanami is a game for 2 to 4 players from Pandasaurus Games. Plays in, I don't know, what's this say, 20 minutes, probably less than that if you're playing with 2. In 2 you can bang one of these games out really fast. And what you're trying to do here is you are basically playing cards to form these, I don't know, gardens, which is basically 3 columns of cards to score points. And the way that works is if I play a card down, if I play a 17 down, if I want to play another card in that row, I have to either play higher than a 17 or lower than a 17. But if I have a 17 and a 40 in that row, I can no longer play 18 through 39. So I've limited the cards that I can play in that column. You can have up to 3 columns, so that kind of frees you up a little bit. And if you can't play a card, you just discard it. There's 4 different colors. There's 4 ways to score points. And that's enough talking about it. Let's go on the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Ohanami, all set up for 2 players. Setup is pretty easy. You shuffle the cards. You deal each player 10 cards. Then they put the scorecard here and write their names on it. I have an example scorecard here just because I wanted to use this at some point. And then you play. Gameplay is really easy. This is effectively a drafting game. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be keeping 2 of these cards and you're trying to build a garden or fountains. Basically 3 rows of cards out in front of you to score points. Now the way that works is when you play a card down, so let's say this is the first card, and this would be another card that we played. So if I have this card down and I want to play the 31, I have to play it above the 31. Now, in this column, I can never play 14 through 30. I either had to play lower than 13 or higher than 31. So that's how the gameplay works, is you can never play between numbers that are in your row. You can only ever play lower or higher, and you can have a maximum of 3 columns. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the game is going to be played over 3 rounds. In the first round, we're only going to score the blue cards that are out. So we each play possible 10 cards. You may have to discard. Then we'll do it again. We'll score blue and green. Then we'll do it again. Then we'll score blue, green, gray, and pink. The pink is going to score based on how many total pinks you have in your tableau. You can see right here, if you can get 15 or more, you're going to get a whole pile of points, and that is tasty. All right. So here are the cards that this player has. They have a pile of pink cards, some green cards, a gray card, and 2 blue cards. So they're going to keep 2 of these, and then they're going to pass the rest of them to their opponent. And I think I'm going to keep these 2 because these are really good. So these will go face down. Then we'll pass. Then this player will do the same thing. They have these cards, and I think they want to start. They're going to go with these 2 cards because they're pretty close and they like that, and then they'll pass. All right, so then we'll flip. So this player will do this, and they'll play these cards in 1 column. You can have up to 3 columns, so however you want to divvy them up is your choice. Let's move that down here a little bit. All right, and then this player has 22 and 27. They're going to let them roll on the same one as well. All right. So then we'll do it again. This player is going to keep, they're going to keep 28 because why not? And they're also going to keep 31. Then they'll pass me this one. And then I will pass them, I will keep, let's see, 105 sounds good. And let's keep this 17. All right, then I'll pass these to them. All right, so then they will flip their cards. They'll play the 28 under the 27. Try not to shake the camera, sorry if I do. And they'll go ahead and play the 31 under the 28. So now they have a nice solid run. And I'm going to play the 105 here. Slide that up. And I'll start a 17 in a new column so we can keep that going. All right, then I'm going to keep, this player is going to keep the 13. And we'll keep, we'll keep the 72. I don't really like a lot of these, but then I'll pass to them. They will keep some cards. Oh, 23 would have been perfect. They're going to take the 98, and they will also keep the 7. Then they will pass these to me, and then they'll flip. So they're going to start 2 new columns. They'll start a 98, and they'll start a 7. Maybe not the smartest, but I just kind of want to show you what you can do here. Then I'm going to keep the 13. I'll put the 13 here, and I'm going to start the 72 over here. All right. Then this player will keep. I'll keep the 79, and I'll keep the 81. So I'll keep both of these. Pass these to this player, and they will keep 99 because that's too good, and they'll keep the 37, and then they'll pass these to me. So these are the cards that I played. So I got a 79 that I'm going to put right there, and an 81 that I'll also put right there. And they're going to keep these 2. They'll keep the 99. And they will keep the 37. Tuck that right there. All right, and then we have to play these 2 cards or discard them. So this player has 23 and 43, and I have 26 and 86. Yeah, I'll keep both of these, that's fine. So we'll do 86 here, and 26 here. And then they'll do 43 and 23. They have to discard 23. If you can't use a card, you just discard it. But they'll keep, they could use 23, I guess, but they're not going to. 43. All right, so that's the end of round 1. Then what you're going to do is you're going to score. So each player is going to look at their tableau, and we're going to score 3 points for every blue card. Numbers are relevant. Where it is in your tableau doesn't matter. 3 points for every blue. So this player, this is me, I would get 6 points. They would get 3 points. Then we would shuffle up, deal 10 cards, do it again. And at the end of round 3, we'll add up our score, add up the total of all the pink cards, and whoever has the most points is the winner. That's how you play Ohanami. Let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Ohanami. I got to say, this game is amazing. It's a little tiny card game, just cards and a score pad. Rule book is super clear, but I love it. I've played it at all player counts, 2, 3, and 4. I played it a lot at 2, and it plays exactly the same, except you're not using all the cards in a 2-player game. And yeah, you're just trying to figure out the best way to score the most points, trying to not pin yourself in by playing a bunch of numbers that are spread out and not being able to play cards later, and just trying to make the best of what you're given. Not a super deep strategic game, but there's enough decisions and choices on your turn, except for the last 2 cards where you're either going to play them or discard them, that it keeps you engaged. You can have conversations, you can chat, you can just relax while you're playing this game and just have some fun playing a card game. It's kind of similar to Racco, I guess. I've never played that, but some people who I did play this with said this feels a lot like Racco. So there is that. If you played Racco, this game would probably feel pretty familiar. I think it's also like The Game, which is a card game called The Game. It's silly, whatever. I haven't played that either, but that's also from Pandasaurus, and I think it might play similarly to this, but cooperative. I don't know that for sure, but I'll just speak to this. So this is what you saw in this game is what this game is. You'll do the exact same thing I did in the playthrough 2 more times, and then you're going to score. And then probably you're going to want to play it again because you're like, oh, now I understand what I'm doing. And then when you play it again, you're probably going to want to play it again. And I would say you play this game 3, 4 times in a row, and you'll probably be done because you've had a good time playing this game. This game's really good. Great card game. I'll take it where people don't usually play a ton of games. I'll play it with Katie. We just bang out a couple 2-player games in 20 minutes and just have fun. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. This is going to get an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 on our arbitrary rate scale. That means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it to games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Ohanami from Pandasaurus. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.